It's been a great day of college hoops on FS1, and the finale of the Fivefecta is right here in downtown Milwaukee, Fiserv Forum, where the Marquette Golden Eagles play host to the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. And we welcome you somewhat courtside, everybody. Jeff Levering with you alongside his Dickie Simpkins. Good to see you again, partner.
Good to see you.
Great to have college basketball back. And for Marquette, they have in place, it's March the 7th, the last game of the Big East regular season. And this is game number 1, Dickie, of life without Marcus Howard.
Yeah, this is a new norm of college basketball, and it's going to be the new norm for life after Marcus Howard for the Marquette Golden Eagles. They're going to have to find the balance of scoring, which will be from the veterans and from the new young players.
They've got some young talent. Samir Torrance has taken over at the point for Marquette. Kobe McEwen, a returner. Jamal Cain, a senior. Theo John, one of the 3 seniors. And the young freshman, Dawson Garcia. That is who Steve Wojciechowski is so fired up to see here tonight.
McDonald's All-American. A lot of expectations. It'll be exciting to see the young fella.
Preseason Freshman of the Year in the Big East. It makes his collegiate debut against the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. As Marquette controls, they got new unis and everything.
You gotta love the new unis. Break out the new unis for the first game. The Golden Lions will play this zone the majority of the game.
Shot clock at 8. McEwen walked with it. And the first turnover of the ball game for Marquette is Steve Wojciechowski, his 7th year in downtown Milwaukee at the head of Marquette University. And again, he's so thrilled about this recruiting class, but you're going to see a lot more balance with this offense, Dickie, in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, we talked to him earlier today. He said, don't be surprised if there's parts of this game that he wished Marcus Howard was back here in uniform.
Get one of those 40-point halves from Marcus, but again, it's going to come from a number of different players, and you might see some more intensity on the defensive end, too, from Marquette.
Yeah, you expect this team to be stronger and better defensively, and you can already see at the beginning of this game, the timing is already off.
2 straight traveling calls against Kobe McEwen. There's George Ivory in his 13th season at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Part of the SWAC Hall of Fame class last year. But you're starting to see some sloppy play early, and that's not going to be a surprise. Marquette missed 14 days because of some COVID problems. That's time missed on the floor. That's time missed with each other. And it's understandable why they might get off to a slow start.
Very understandable. You didn't have any preseason games, inconsistent summer workouts.
Just 3 seconds on the shot clock here for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Yeah, Steve Wojciechowski, when we talked to him earlier today, he was fired up to get this game underway, and 9 p.m. Central Time couldn't get here fast enough. Shot clock winding down, and a brick from Arkansas Pine Bluff, and another turnover by the Golden Lions.
Like you said earlier, when you start watching this game, you won't be surprised by some of the timing that is off, the shot selection, the degree of the misses of the shots. It's understandable.
McEwen launches from 3, and we finally got a score.
And they're going to need that scoring from McEwen. He's going to have to step up, be one of those guys that helps contribute toward the scoring that they're missing without having Marcus Howard.
The 3rd leading scorer a year ago, but with Howard leaving, Sakar Adam leaving to graduation. Tough shot by Doss. And into the hands of Theo John. Kobe McEwen becomes the leading scorer on this Marquette team. Averaged 9.5 points a game. There's Garcia's first shot in college, and he missed. Up ahead, Doss up and under. Nice play from the junior Sean Doss.
And Sean Doss is somebody that Coach Ivory is looking forward to seeing him contribute. He needs scoring from Doss. That was a good job getting out transition, getting a quick basket.
Played in just 3 ball games last year. Did Doss, had a broken foot. Theo John is going to go to the line, and he's flexing early on in this ball game. And for you, Dickey, these are the things you need to see from both teams in order for them to be successful.
Yeah, Marquette, we talked about in the open, balance, scoring, being able to find and get contribution from the veterans and the young players, and then defensive identity. They have to create that immediately. And then Arkansas Pine Bluff, disrupt offense rhythm by playing their zone, and then offensively control the tempo.
Theo John knocks down the first free throw. Theo John, who's such a great defensive presence, and you talk about their identity, it's got to start with Theo John. The fact that he played all of last season with a broken wrist tells you a lot about his toughness.
Well, he has an unbelievable level of toughness. One of the strongest players in the Big East. They say he loves to eat weights, but he anchors the Marquette defense. Last season, averaging close to 2 blocks a game.
Looking at those pipes, he certainly does like to eat those weights.
I got to get on his weight program right there.
Theo John basically stepped onto campus and was curling, no doubt about it. Switch it around, Jamal Cain from the wing, in and out. Dawson tried to keep it alive, and it's into the hands of Joshua Johnson, 5'9", and a junior transfer out of Arizona. 3 in and out for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Just about 3 minutes gone by for Marquette. 3-point lead.
The Golden Lions are doing an excellent job with their zone defense.
Nearly forced a turnover, out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Marquette with 11 seconds left on the shot clock, and some subs coming in. And for the first time, freshman Justin Lewis onto the floor, and the transfer from Ohio State, the sophomore DJ Carton, who brings a lot of toughness and just some good experience to this Marquette team.
I'm looking forward to seeing DJ Carton play. Watched him at Ohio State last season. Very talented kid.
And it's going to stay with Marquette. Fresh shot clock at 20 seconds. There's DJ Carton. Last time he touched the floor was on the 26th of January. Decided to transfer at that point. So his layoff has been even longer than others. Cain from 3, and he knocked that one down.
Jamal Cain coming back from last season as an improved shooter.
An unforced error for Arkansas Pine Bluff is going to give the basketball back to Marquette.
And that's part of the timing, that's part of the rhythm, that's part of knowing your players, that's part of not being able to have a lot of playtime in exhibition games that have unforced turnovers like that.
You mentioned Jamal Cain, who has shown flashes at times of where he can be a prolific scorer. They're going to need him to knock down some shots. He's got that mid-range jumper. He's good from 3. And in his senior season.
But like you said, he's had inconsistent moments, and you need him to be consistent this year.
Good vision from the freshman to the other freshman. Dawson Garcia to Justin Lewis. In through the traffic, forced a tough shot, DJ Carton. And now Carton on the move for the Golden Eagles. Garcia from 3. He is in the score column.
The one thing Coach Wojciechowski has done here, they have recruited talent. You have Garcia, you have Justin Lewis, you have a transfer in DJ Carton, all with talent. The ability to put the ball in the basket.
Go inside, Garcia picks up his first block in college. Contested 3. Well, you can tell the identity of this defense showing up in spades in the first 4.5 minutes of this game for Marquette. Into the teeth of that zone, over to Lewis for a bucket, and timeout called by the Golden Lions. What a great start by Marquette.
Justin Lewis, a sensational freshman. The nice pass by DJ Carton. Garcia, the McDonald's All-American, showing you the flashes of his brilliance as a freshman.
Hit the floor at this point, but Garcia knocked down a triple in his first stretch of minutes. He's got serious length, 6'11", 235. You put him with Theo John on that front line, Dickie, and it's one of the best with the senior freshman combinations in this conference.
Well, Dawson Garcia's game fits where the bigs are in basketball today. He has the versatility, he has the basketball IQ, he has the touch, the feel, and the vision to make precise passes.
And we've seen him distribute a little bit from that big man position, the 5. We've seen some pretty prolific passers that have come through Marquette over the last couple of years. Joey Hauser, who is now at Michigan State, as we see DJ Carton force another turnover from Arkansas Pine Bluff. And of course Henry Ellenson too, going back even a few more years before that. Alley-oop to Jamal Cain.
And that's what I'm talking about now. That's how you start off your senior season in college basketball if you're Jamal Cain. He's already knocked down threes, and then he went upstairs for the nice lob dunk.
He and Greg Elliott came to campus at the same time. They've known each other so well. That's who distributed. Tough shot and a good finish by Doss. He's got all 4 points for the Golden Lions. Elliott getting his first run of the season. Theo chipped down low, had it blocked away. Trying to thread the needle, we'll get a push.
Well, you talked about the passing, Jeff. I'm sorry, but Elliott seeing Jamal Cain slashing the baseline, nice touch pass. You have to love the fact that they're sharing the ball early in this game.
It's the alley and the oop. Elliott and Cain, like they've been doing it for the last 4 years, like they have in practice. And finally getting the opportunity to do that with this more balanced offense. Jalen Lynn on the floor for the first time for Arkansas Pine Bluff, as well as Alvin Stredick. And the step back jumper off the heel, an offensive rebound by the Golden Lions. There's Doss firing away from 3 in and out.
And Doss is going to be a volume shooter for this Golden Lions team. He only played 3 games last season.
Did you hear him call it?
I did not hear him call it, but I'm going to give him that because Jamal Cain has started this game off very well. Knocking down threes, lob dunks, and we talked about how he has to step up as a senior, find himself, and be consistent.
Saw the smile on Symir Torrance's face after Cain banked that one in. You'll take him any way you can get him. Justin Lewis picked up the personal. Talented freshman out of Baltimore, 6'7", 245.
The coaching staff is excited about Justin Lewis. They've been very impressed with his performances throughout the preseason and their practices. He's already shown flashes in this game with nice soft touch on the baseline, his athleticism, the rebound, his ability to guard different positions. I mean, that's where the game is going now, and Rojo is recruiting those guys.
Dawson back on the floor, Dawson Garcia, and Jose Perez on the floor for the first time. He's got the basketball. Just got his waiver granted on Saturday. Able to play this year, transfer from Gardner-Webb, and a tough slash. And Jalen Lynn's going to go to the line. There's Perez.
Arkansas Pine Bluff is doing a very good job defensively. They're overmatched by size and athleticism, but they're using their quickness and their speed and forcing Marquette to shoot the jump shots and then getting out fast in transition, which they'll have to do throughout this game.
That's what George Ivory wanted to do. He wanted to use that athleticism and the speed to try and weave their way through some of these big bodies from Marquette. One out of 2 for Lynn. Makes it a 14-point game for Marquette. And Carton lost it on the way up, out of bounds, off of Marquette. And what has been a great day for college basketball. Started at Noon Eastern time down at Xavier in the Big East. Everybody in the conference basically getting going today. Nice to have college basketball back after a couple of week delay.
Yeah, it's great to see college basketball, especially with everything we have going on in 2020. It's good to see on Thanksgiving Eve all the college basketball going on. Kind of take your mind away from other things, trying to relax and enjoy the game of basketball.
The amount of games that these teams are going to be playing too, real quick leading up to the conference play. Theo John had it knocked away from him, and then he's fouled on the way up. There was Stredick on the initial block, but Theo John was able to get it back, and he's going to go to the line and shoot a couple.
Nice reaction by Stredick, timing it, playing it up high. Theo John staying with it though. You have to stay with it, but it was a nice block. Theo John staying locked in, focused, staying with it, and now at the free throw line.
And he misses the front end. Torrance and McEwen checking back in for Marquette. It's a Marquette team that was eager to get back onto the floor, Dickie. Hadn't been competitive since March the 7th. That was the last game that they played, last game of the regular season in the Big East. In fact, this is the first athletic competition for the school since March 12th, a men's tennis match. That was the last time Marquette competed in an NCAA activity. Good for the basketball program and good for the university. This defense by Theo John, tough shot there by Pine Bluff. Perez inside, Dawson Garcia will go to the line. Golden Eagles flying high early, up 15 at home. FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. A Golden Knight. Here in Milwaukee, the Golden Lions and the Golden Eagles. Dawson Garcia at the line to shoot a couple, knocks down the first.
We have a lot of golden going on. I'm pretty golden myself.
Yeah, you are, Pony Boy.
I mean, you golden too. We're just a golden duo, man.
I'm just happy to see you again, Dickie, even though it's from 8 feet apart. Doing the right things. Last time I did a basketball game was with you in Omaha. It was good to see you.
It's good to see you too, man. Happy to be back working with you. Back in front of basketball.
Yeah, things are different. It's different all over the country. Know that Butler had some fans in the arena earlier today. You see the bench and how distant they are from one another, just a different look. It almost feels like you have to have a carrier pigeon if you're the coach. Hey, go grab Lewis for me. You got to have signals for everything because you can't just yell at somebody or tap someone on the shoulder anymore.
And you have to be, as a coaching staff, as players, you have to be ready to react and operate in the moment because things can change at any time.
It was interesting talking to Steve Wojciechowski today after their shoot-around and the way that the complexion is now with college basketball. You don't necessarily know whether you're playing that night's game until maybe 5 or 6 hours ahead of time. We talked to him at about 3:45, 4 o'clock this afternoon, and they had just been cleared to play this game at 2:45 or 3 o'clock, so he showed up to shoot around. He said, I have a game plan, and I have a practice plan just in case.
Yeah, I mean, you as a player and as coaches, you have a system and a routine that you stick with throughout the whole season. And now, with the way things are, that routine can be shaken up anytime, and you have to be ready to operate on the fly.
Steve Wojciechowski talked a lot about controlling what you can control. And in this environment, you can't control a lot. And it's not being frustrated by it as Garcia is going to go to the line and shoot a couple. But it's a good mindset. If you can't do anything about it, don't sweat.
You can't sweat things in this day and time. Keep things in perspective. Take your time moving forward with whatever it is you're doing. Be safe about it, but have the flexibility to be able to adjust when needed.
Going to be a game of adjustments. Day in, day out, hour by hour, minute by minute. It's going to be a heck of a basketball season, I know that. Especially in this conference in the Big East. Lost a lot of great talent. Of course, Golden Eagle fans know that. But all around the conference, a lot of star power on the move.
And then when you get on the court, when you're a player and you get on the court and the instinct kicks in, it's like riding a bicycle, getting a bicycle again. Once the instinct kicks in, your competitive drive, your love for the game, you're right back in it.
Working that zone offense nicely for Marquette. Theo John kept it alive for Torrance. 10 to shoot. To the elbow for Garcia. Nice touch from the freshman.
He has unbelievable touch around those elbow areas. Nice left hand stroke. We've seen him knock down 3-point shots, and he's showing you mid-range ability. Very good composure as a freshman.
Inside, nice defense by Jamal Cain. Now the three off the heel by Terrence Banyard, but a long rebound out to Pine Bluff. A good strip away by Jamal Cain, but he was on the baseline. Out of bounds, going to go to the Golden Lions.
The Golden Lions, they're getting back into the swing of things also. Last season, they had a lot of players, 9 players injured all the time, which affected 73 of the players in the games that they were playing, affected their ability to have cohesiveness offensively. And so they're trying to get back in the swing of things also.
Nice move by Jamal Cain, stripping that ball away. Possession arrow is going to stay with Arkansas Pine Bluff. 73 total games missed by those 9 players in total for Arkansas Pine Bluff. And when you look at the stat sheet, 22 guys saw action.
Yeah. When I saw their roster, I was like, is this the Pine Bluff football team or is this the basketball team?
No joke.
We're going 11 on 11 today. But the good thing is, the players that were injured last year, they're all healthy. Coach Ivory is looking forward to seeing them perform and get back in the swing of things this season.
Weak side block coming across Theo John. And we're going to get a whistle before all the traffic. Theo John getting his first swat of the season. One of the best in the Big East at blocking shots a year ago.
Secretary of Defense right there. You have to love when your big gets excited about blocking shots like Theo John just did.
Security? Early security call?
Hashtag security.
There's Kobe McEwen from 3. No. And Stredick pulls down the rebound. Good help by Theo John, forcing another turnover from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here's McEwen up ahead. He's going to go to the line. Kobe McEwen had some really great moments for this Marquette team last year, but the consistency wasn't there in his first year with the Golden Eagles. Hoping for a lot more of that, but more of the defense from Theo John. This is your guy on defense.
Well, Theo John, it starts with him right here in the paint. His time and his ability to anticipate, and just the skill of going up and blocking shots. Theo John helps your field goal defensive percentage as a team.
Theo John heading to the bench. Get our first look at Oso Ighodaro, another great freshman. Part of this great class that Steve Wojciechowski brought to town from Chandler, Arizona. Same city that produced Marquette great all-time leading scorer Marcus Howard. And we're going to whistle before the drive.
Marquette, round number 2.
Justin Lewis picks up the personal. Lewis and Goddard all on the floor at the same time.
And that's where, when you're a freshman, making the adjustments defensively now. You know, high school and college is different when it comes to defense. And having the understanding of how to defend, especially with these rules, and you can't put your hands on the offensive player.
DJ Carton forcing another turnover and a foul that time called by Marquette Bell. Seeing the energy being brought by DJ Carton in a new environment. Again, the transfer from Ohio State. May have been popped in the nose there. See those eyes watering just a touch.
It never fails to get. It never fails to get hit in that nose. Those eyes are going to water. Those eyes are going to water. But he's a tough kid. Got a chance to watch him at Ohio State last season. We're talking about the Mr. Basketball of Iowa.
And with all the talent they've had coming out of Iowa for the last few years, a lot of them go to Hawkeye Nation or Iowa State. You stay with Arkansas Pine Bluff, but for Carton, he goes off to Columbus. Was there for 20 games and then comes to Milwaukee and in what is a free year because of everything that's happened. He's going to stay a sophomore in eligibility-wise, too. Johnson trying to drive. Almost got lucky.
Johnson being the smallest guy on the court right now. He was trying to get in there with the land of the Giants and just not enough space to get that shot off.
Kane from the corner, too strong. And Marquette, that was once really hot, has cooled off significantly. And Theo John blocks another one away. That's his second block, and he might have got that with his tricep. It's a block party in downtown Milwaukee. There's Theo John. He did get it with his tricep. Day is mere hours away. We got the bird ready to go for tomorrow. Mashed potatoes. Oh, that's all I care about. And apple pie.
Well, I'm excited about getting back home for Thanksgiving. Everything's going to be a surprise for me. I don't know what's on the menu. I just know the whole family, my wife and kids, are in prep mode right now in the kitchen.
Good for you guys.
And they've been doing that. My wife started on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm excited, man. I'm ready.
You're going to have to send me a picture of the spread.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to definitely go.
It's going to be a feast, I know that.
Oh, I'm ready. But I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to stay strict to my diet and how I've been eating, man. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a small plate, but it's going to be good.
That's okay. A tasty small plate. And no seconds.
No seconds. No
seconds. Jamal Kane out of the timeout is fouled on the drive, and he's going to go to the line.
I'm really impressed with the first game of the season, how Marquette is playing defense, team defense, getting that stop, getting out in transition.
That's kind of how they're going to have to play this, creating some offense from their defense over the course of the year, not just the non-conference action, but the conference action too once they get into Big East play. Utilize some of that speed and size.
And they have the personnel where they can play inside and outside. They don't have to be a steady diet of three-point shots, live or die by the three like they've done in the past. They can mix it up. They can play inside. They have bigs that can pass, very skilled.
It felt like over the last few years you would hear Marquette talk about playing more balanced as Jamal Kane pokes another one away, tried to make the extra pass. It'll stay with Marquette. They would try and tease that that's how they were going to play. They would have the bigs and Theo John and Ed Morrow last year, who's now gone, and Jace Johnson, but everybody knew it was going to be surrounded with Marcus Howard, and the shooting Now it truly is more balanced. You've got everybody. You've got so many options.
Yes, you have a very, very good and versatile personnel where you can switch up and have any kind of lineup on the court.
Another alley-oop too tall for Kane. Got his own miss, and he's fouled on his way up.
They can play big with Theo John and Dawson Garcia on the court like they've done before. They can play small. As you can see, DJ Carton looking for Jamal Kane, slashing the baseline again like he did earlier and caught the lob.
They'll get that down. Him and Greg Elliott have been doing that on the Nerf hoop for 4 years, so it just takes time.
And you pointed out earlier, DJ Carton hasn't played for a long, since when? December?
End of January,
End of January, so.
January 26th, he had 17 points against Northwestern for Ohio State.
So he has extra rust on his game.
And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but if you're just joining us, this is a Marquette program that had some COVID problems and missed 14 days of face-to-face action. Couldn't be around each other, couldn't be in the weight room, had to do everything on their own, but basically you're quarantined inside your own dorm room or your own apartment, wherever you're living, and doing everything on Zoom. It's really hard to be cohesive when you can't see each other for 2 weeks and you're trying to build those relationships.
Yeah, with the protocols that they have when you have to shut down for 14 days, that is definitely going to hamper your rhythm, your routine, your timing, everybody getting back adjusted. And like you said, you can't be around each other, so you go to Zoom. And Zoom has been the thing, man. And Zoom has been the thing throughout this whole process. The technology of today is so impressive on how we can do so many things and operate in these strenuous times.
Tell a lot of these universities are still operating. High school, my kid who's in kindergarten doing Zoom class at times.
Yeah, my kids that are in middle school, they're doing Zoom. They're also doing in-class, and then my son who's in college, he's been doing all virtual class.
Good to have the technology. There's a three, and still nothing dropping for Arkansas Pine Bluff. 2 for 24. Check that, 2 for 23 now from the floor. As Samir Torrance off the mark, another opportunity for Marquette. Torrance slashes, and now Greg Elliott launches a three.
Very good job of making the one more pass. That is what that's called. You draw the defense, saw Elliott wide open, made the one more pass. That helps a guy's percentage of making a shot go up, right in rhythm.
Theo John, block number 3. And we'll get a whistle on the drive. We talked about the balance offense. 6 of the 10 players that have hit the floor for Marquette have scored. You got the big spruce tree and Theo John who's loading up the paint. Things are clicking early for Marquette. That was a worry for Steve Wojciechowski earlier today. He didn't know how they were going to come out and respond in game number 1.
Well, they've already responded, and they're playing very enthused, very energetic.
Joshua Johnson, first triple of the night for Arkansas Pine Bluff.
And they're going to need Johnson to score. He has some junior college experience, so they need that experience brought for when they hit the SWAC conference, and he has the ability to knock down shots. Small guy that has the ability to score the ball.
5'9", 160 for Joshua Johnson out of Phoenix, Arizona at the Glendale Community College. Averaged better than 17.5 points a season ago. Theo John at the stripe again. Marquette has already attempted 18 free throws in this first half. And They've made 14 of them. Four blocks for Theo John. On his way to a potential double-double, and if he keeps blocking shots, who knows what else.
And the other thing that's impressive is he's 4 for 5 from the free throw line, and here's a guy coming off of last season only shooting 57% from the free throw line. I like the improvement because he has to expect to get fouled all throughout this college basketball season.
You mentioned his toughness earlier, playing all of last year with a broken wrist. He comes away with a steal this time. Elliott 1-on-3, able to come away with that loose ball. And we're going to get a foul on the senior Cameron Posey, Milwaukee native. So Elliott will go to the line. A couple of Milwaukee natives that are seniors, Terrence Banyard and Cameron Posey. Destiny High School, about, 9 miles away from downtown Milwaukee, and fight serve for him. I Google mapped it.
Getting a chance to come back home, I mean, when they had these games scheduled, I'm sure their expectations were to be here to play in front of their family, get to see their family. Obviously, the dynamics are different, but the opportunity to be back home, hometown boys.
And Arkansas Pine Bluff is going to stay in town as they go to Madison to take on the Wisconsin Badgers on Friday. Tour Day, Wisconsin.
Well, they plan to be on the road for 15 days. Long road trip.
Getting ready for SWAC play. Theo John altered another shot. Garcia with a good rebound. Theo John running the floor.
This is what we've seen in the past. The passing ability of this Marquette team. They are sharing the ball. That was excellent transition fast break. Passing it straight down the sideline and the big rim running with the finish.
Theo John getting a lot of minutes here in this first half. Dawson Garcia had it knocked away. Just the 5th turnover by Marquette. We'll have free throws for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Feels a lot, Dickie, that this Marquette team defensively, at least in this first half, almost 16 minutes gone, is really starting to take on that Steve Wojciechowski slapping the floor, running all over the place, skin knees and elbows. It's kind of how it's starting to feel a little bit for this Golden Eagles team.
Well, you usually see teams take on the personalities of their coach. You're absolutely right. The Golden Eagles right now are all in tune defensively as a team. High energy, high motor. They're all connected, helping each other out. And Theo John leading the force inside, protecting the rim.
Samir Torrance just took a rebound away from Theo John.
I'm sure Theo's going to talk about that at halftime.
Yes, he is.
Have a conversation with him. He's stealing my rebounds.
And Theo John just picked up a personal foul. Theo John, defense, offense. Look at the big man.
You get out of transition, the big fella rim running and finishing above the rim.
Steve Wojciechowski talked about the leadership of his seniors, and Theo John is one of the big three for him. He's had a great start to this game, Dickie. Offense, defense. Here's a look at one of the greatest shot blockers in the Big East.
Anticipation, intensity, motor, anchoring your defense, and then you have to reward the big fella when he runs the lane. He's bringing the strength, he's bringing the defense, he's bringing the enthusiasm to the game. He's just playing unbelievably strong tonight, Jeff.
And those 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That's the most impressive part, I think, Dickie, the improvement from the free throw stripe. And And having a healthy wrist will certainly help that.
And that is going to be very important throughout this college season. As you just saw Jose Perez get to the basket. But Theo John's ability to make free throws is going to be big, because he will get fouled a lot during the season because he's so strong and physical in the paint when they give him the ball.
Doss went right into the chest of Theo John and able to finish. And a travel by Symir Torrance. Cameron Posey forcing the turnover from Marquette.
Posey showing Coach Ivory, I can come in here, showing my intensity defensive-wise also.
Under 3 to play in the first half. There's Posey. And now Johnson fades away and knocks down the deuce.
Can't bring that ball down around Johnson, man. He's so close to the ground. He's stripping that. He got his hands on that and showed you the nice little baby jump shot. Good defense by Johnson.
Playing into his game. Elliott with a good ball fake. Nice defense. Starting to pick up for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Now the 3 from the corner and an air ball. Rebound number 7 for Theo John and a whistle on Sean Doss.
Well, even though the Golden Lions are struggling to shoot the ball, they have not lost their energy defensively and using their quick hands, coming up with steals. And that is one of the things that they're known for, their team defense, the speed, the quickness. And eventually it will translate into finishing offensively. But it's good to see Doss, who only played 3 games last season, being able to see the ball go through the basket.
Averaged nearly 12.5 points. There's Torrance, the sophomore from New York. Theo John battling, and it ends up in the hands of Marquedrick Bell. They're going to ask Torrance to run the point for the most part. Him and DJ Carton will share those duties. Doss.
Oh, I like that. I like that right there. Doss with a nice 2-bounce to the paint, pull up under control.
Nice little run right now by Arkansas Pine Bluff. Good feed inside to Perez, and he'll go to the line. Foul on Bell. Seeing the passing from Dawson Garcia.
The luxury of having a talented big who has the ability to pass, the vision first of all, the unselfishness, and the ability to deliver it right on point.
It looks like the worries that Steve Wojciechowski had going into this game about how his team would respond to the zone. They've only been practicing against the zone for about 2 days, and that's about it. With passing like that from Garcia, and we've seen it from others, they're playing the zone okay.
Yeah, they started off shooting a lot of threes, and rightfully so, they made a couple, and then they kind of got away from getting the ball in the paint. I'm sure Coach Wojo told them, we need to hit the paint with our passes against the zone and don't just settle, and that's what they've been doing.
Steve Wojciechowski, never a lack of enthusiasm on that sideline, especially on the defensive end. Under a minute and a half to play. It is little lifter for Marquette into the hands of Torrance and going the other way. Theo John, extra pass to Kane. Garcia, chance for a 3-point play.
And that's unfortunate for Arkansas Pine Bluff. They were playing very good defense on that half-court possession. Johnson getting his hands in the passing lane to get a deflection. Unfortunately, it fell right into Dawson Garcia's hands. Strength on his strong side of his left hand. If you're going to foul, you can't let him get it up. And the talented freshman with a 3-point play.
He's got 11 in his collegiate debut. All those free throw attempts from Marquette. Doing a good job drawing fouls. There's a block by Symir Torrance. 7th block from Marquette's defense. Torrance now from 3. Pays off his block with a 3.
Torrance gets that shot because when the ball went to Theo John, Garcia dove, drew the defense towards the basket, left a wide open pass by Theo John for the knockdown shot by McEwen. And that's how you execute offensive versus the zone.
8 of the 10 Golden Eagles have scored. Tough shot by Doss, all that length from Jamal Cain. Last shot of the half, Symir Torrance off the backboard. And it's a good first half for Marquette. They put up 50 in this first half, Dickey.
But they've shared the ball, making shots, and defense has set the tone in this game.
Jeep halftime report is coming up. Rob Stone, Jim Jackson, Casey Jacobson are standing by in our FS1 studio. Give their outlook for the Marquette Golden Eagles here in 2020 and 2021. A good first half from Marquette. They put up a half a century on Arkansas Pine Bluff. Halftime and much more from Milwaukee when we return. Start of the second half from Milwaukee. The Golden Eagles leading the Golden Lions 50-18. And our first half stats are presented by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Ton of free throws and great defense from Marquette in that first half, Dickey.
Yeah, that's the story of the game. Marquette getting to the free throw line, defensively blocking shots, and forcing the Golden Lions to turn the ball over.
And we came on the air today talking about the balance of the scoring and the defense too from Marquette, and we're seeing 3 guys really having a nice start to their season.
Yeah, life after Marcus Howard doesn't look too bad. Jamal Cain, Dawson Garcia, Theo John doing a very good job contributing and balanced scoring right here, sharing the ball, and this is what you wanted to see coming into this new Marquette-looking team.
Monster free throw numbers, of course, and for Theo John, 7 of 8. There's Dawson Garcia, who's shown a great knack for sharing the basketball, too. Nice touch getting through this Arkansas Pine Bluff zone. Theo John with 4 blocks and 7 rebounds. He is on his way towards a double-double and then some. And Jamal Cain finally taking center stage in his senior year. Open up with Torrance, McEwen, Garcia, John, and Cain, and McEwen fouled. It's a 14th team foul from Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Arkansas Pine Bluff staying in the zone. They're going to stay with the zone. They're just going to chase the ball, try to use quick hands, and right there, Johnson saw McEwen turn his back and tried to get a steal, but it ended up in a foul.
Dawson Garcia, top of the key, off the front of the rim. Theo John trying to keep it alive, and it's out of bounds. Normally, that would have hit us. Dickey would have made the play. I'd have been ducking, but...
No, I wouldn't have been able to. I would have to let that ball hit you, man. I can't touch the ball. I mean, I don't want. I can't touch the ball.
Get after it with an elbow.
I can't touch the ball during the game, man.
You got that.
In the past, I used to save you, man, and catch the ball. You're on your own. You're on your own, buddy.
I'm on my own. All right. I see how our relationship has developed, Dickey. I get it. Dawes got blocked by Dawson Garcia. Going the other way for Marquette. McEwen, good ball fake. Threading and then blocked on the backside. Theo John's going to go to the line again. And we're going to get double technical fouls. And Theo John trying to get away, get the hugs there. That's the Milwaukee native Cameron Posey.
And the officials, they still have to go and look at this on the video because it was...
Golden Lions foul, number 40, Cameron Posey, second personal.
It's a lot of physicality right there. Nothing malicious. I think Posey was
looked like an inadvertent elbow coming down from Theo John on the rebound initially to make the contact with Posey, and then Posey took exception to it and got pretty upset.
Yeah, he took his exception to it and seemed like it was going to go a whole different direction for him. It seemed like he caught himself in the middle of his reaction. So as you can see,
right there, that's the initial contact, and then Posey smartly held himself back.
And Posey put his hands on his head because he knew the motion that he was initially into, that he needed to catch himself. This is going to be a decision, a conversation, because if the officials feel like that initial swing that Posey stopped was out of bounds of the rules, then
right,
they're gonna say that he's gonna have to exit this game.
Yeah, again, he did pull himself back, which is good, because you could tell that he was getting there, and then smarter minds prevailed there for Posey.
And if it's any consolation, you saw Posey afterwards, you saw Theo John afterwards, you saw both teams. They knew it was in the heat of the moment for a second. Everybody was shaking hands. You saw Posey go to Theo John. They showed love. So if it's any consolation, you leave Posey in the game. Let's keep playing basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. So the officials are talking to both coaches. They're explaining the situation. And again, I think the whole thing began with just some inadvertent contact from Theo John coming down on Posey after trying to get his own rebound. And that's Lamar Simpson talking with George Ivory about what they're going to do with this situation.
And I know the rules are the rules, but when you look at it in the totality of the situation, this is where the officials should have the ability to be able to make some decisions outside of the rules. But I get it, and you see Posey having to come out the game and having to go to the locker room.
Yeah, Cameron Posey has been ejected from this game, and even though he pulled back on the initial left punch of Theo John, it was that swing that's going to get him removed from this ball game.
Yeah, it was the initial motion of the swing. Like you said, the initial motion of the swing, closed fist, but then he stops it.
Right.
He gathers himself. He understands. He knew that was not what he should have did, and like I said, they came together. Both teams understood. It didn't escalate to anything. That's where I would like to see the officials be able to have the ability to override. I understand what the protocol is and the rules, but when you look at the whole situation, now you kind of enforce it a little different. Now, if that would have been a blown out, everybody brawling, that's a different thing. Or
right,
you're connected to Theo John, and that's a different thing.
Right. Good news is we avoided all of the real bad stuff. And it's unfortunate, too, for Posey, because he did collect himself, and we talked about it in the first half, too. He's a Milwaukee kid. Went to high school 10 minutes away from Fiserv Forum. It's a big game for him.
Yeah, it's a big game for him his senior year. And now he's not going to be able to finish this game in the early parts of the second half.
So Theo John knocked out a couple of free throws, and Kobe McEwen, these are the technical free throws. Theo John hit his normal free throws, which he was awarded. And McEwen, who was one of the best free throw shooters on the team last year, is 1 out of 2 there.
One of the things I have to point out again, I know we mentioned it earlier, but I'm very impressed how Theo John has really got himself together on his free throw shooting. He's 9 for 10. And again, here's a guy that was shooting 57% last year from the free throw line. He can keep it up, make that jump. If he can at least shoot 75%, that is a bonus for this team.
Having a healthy wrist is a huge thing for Theo John. Swinging around, McCune from the corner, pops a three.
Jamal Cain making the hockey assist. Samir Torrance making the assist, the extra pass that leads to a wide open J from McCune, sharing the ball.
Marquette has done a great job of that all night long. 12 of their 14 makes have had an assist next to him. Good save by Theo John, almost took out a ball rack in his way. I wouldn't want to be that ball rack.
No, not at all.
Inside look, right at the elbow to Garcia. Now Torrance from three. Has hit his last two from beyond the arc.
And that just happens, both last two possessions is patience, poise, vision, and good passing leads to open shots in rhythm, under control. That's great offense.
All but two Golden Eagles have scored for Steve Wojciechowski. The balance is there tonight in their season debut.
Hell no.
Good defense by Torrance, but a nice offensive rebound. Second opportunity for Arkansas Pine Bluff and couldn't pull it in. Theo John has a double-double. That was his 10th rebound. Jamal Cain from three. Oh, what a finish by Theo John.
Do you see the energy? Do you see the tenacity? Do you see the hunger and passion from the big fella Theo John? It started on the defensive end, securing the rebound with two hands. The big fella not giving up on the play, running the court. And when he runs the court, he does his job defensively, rebounding, and does his job offensively with the Thunder Jam offensive putback.
Theo John starting this second half with some thunder and lightning. 13 points, 11 boards, and 5 blocks for Theo John, the senior from Minnesota.
Well, we talked about
Marquette foul 25.
we talked about earlier, Jeff,
13 foul.
Marquette kind of being in the middle of the Big East, right? Somewhere in that 5, 6, or 7. Just basically looking at it on paper. But if Theo John can do what he did, doing what he's doing so far, make free throws, be a threat offensively, control the paint, and if Jamal Cain can be consistent with what he's doing today, that will help Marquette move up to the top of the Big East.
DJ Carton with a steal. Finishes with the left hand and a chance for a three-point play.
And you get to see the transfer. Mr. Basketball from Iowa, using his athletic ability to come up with the steal, and then his composure and poise to concentrate on the finish, and now you see the three-point play.
Carton is now the 9th Marquette player to get in the score column. Not a big guy. You see him at 6'2", 200 pounds, but he plays a lot bigger. He's got a good wingspan, very tough. Isolated Doss. Offensive rebound put back good by Daquan Morris.
I like that from Daquan Morris. That was his quickness, snagging that rebound and a quick back-up reaction jump.
Nice feed. Freshman. Oh, almost the finish from Dawson Garcia. And then on the other end, Alvin Stredick on the floor with 4 fouls.
You don't normally see freshmen come into college and show that they can pass the ball well and be unselfish like Garcia and Lewis.
There they go again. They try the other end this time. It's Lewis from Garcia.
And that's the young talent right there. The kid from B-Moore, Baltimore, showing his athletic ability, going straight up with the jam. Freshman to freshman pass.
6 points for Lewis in his Marquette debut. And before the shot, a foul. I think they'll get McEwen. Theo John, he deserves an OMG from you, Dickie.
Oh my goodness. Theo John playing above the rim. OMG, big fella.
FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. We welcome you back to Milwaukee. The Golden Eagles all over the Golden Lions today. The freshman Dawson Garcia is having a great night in his collegiate debut. 11 points and 4 assists to go with 3 rebounds. But that's the man right there, Theo John Dickey. He's having a great night.
Yeah, he's on pace to have a triple-double, man. He comes back in this game. We have a lot of time. The way he's protecting the paint and protecting the rim, he can finish this game with a triple-double.
Sean Doss has 14 to lead the way for Arkansas Pine Bluff.
I know Coach Ivory is, if anything he gets from this game, I know he's happy to see how Doss is playing after being sidelined last season with the bone injury in his foot. But he's been showing some flashes in this game of what Coach Ivory will need for their team this season, scoring-wise.
A team that battled injury problems all of last year. That was well documented. Used 22 different players. And a timeout is called by Arkansas Pine Bluff to maintain possession. Down by 40. We'll take a quick timeout from Fiserv Forum. Marquette getting some early Thanksgiving. 40-point lead for Marquette on their home floor in the Lid Lifter in 2021. And Dickey, a lot of guys lost in the Big East, but these are some of your fresh faces in the conference.
Yeah, these are new guys in the conference that you have to keep an eye on, that I expect to have a spectacular season. You see Dawson Garcia, the freshman here. You see DJ Carton. But Aiken at Seton Hall, I mean, he was putting the ball in the basket at Harvard. And then Jared Bynum had a very solid game today, distributing the ball for that Providence team. He's going to be a solid factor at the point guard position. And you know what's funny about Jared Bynum? I played with his dad in high school.
Get out of here.
His dad and I went to high school together.
Of course he's going to end up on that graphic as a fresh face. You know, Dad.
Hey, it pays to know somebody, man. It pays to know somebody.
Now, who would win in a pickup game, Dad or son, at their primes?
Oh, Dad was talented. Dad was very talented. Dad was very athletic, and Dad was a scorer. And Dad could play.
Nice rebound, Jamal Kane. Put it back up and in. Kane with 14 to lead the Golden Eagles.
But they had two different games. The son is more a distributor, shares the ball. Dad was a scorer and just had blinders on.
There's a tie-up with Elliott, and it's going to stay with Arkansas Pine Bluff. That Providence team is one that can really do some things in the Big East.
Yeah, they have some solid veteran players. Watson had a very good game today. David Duke is making shots and playing well, and is starting to now. You can see those high expectations he had coming in. Reeves is playing well. And again, Jared Bynum is doing a very good job of controlling the team.
Reeves and Duke just showing some consistency with Watson down low. Doss is going to go to the line. He was fouled by Greg Elliott. The Big East has a lot of talent. Villanova, of course, they are Preseason ranked number 3, Creighton is returning basically everybody except for Tyshawn Alexander. They're ranked 11th in the country. And then you had 4 other teams that received votes in the Big East in the first poll.
Yeah, the Big East is strong. One of the big reasons why they're strong is a lot of these teams have returning players who have logged a lot of minutes and have experience and were major contributors last season, so that makes them even stronger. And then the Big East has transfer players like DJ Carton, Jared Bynum, who I just mentioned, transferred from St. Joe's. As you see Elliott with a nice soft touch on the baseline, but they have transfer players who are coming in with experience.
I'm glad the NCAA kind of loosened up their grip on the transfers, especially this year. The climate, the way that the season ended last year. Oh, down goes Justin Lewis on the floor. Gets up, thankfully. Theo John was going for his 6th block. Lewis seems to be doing okay after landing hard underneath his own hoop.
You know the one thing about Justin Lewis, he doesn't necessarily look like he's very athletic. He has that, what I call deceptive athleticism. But he'll pop on you real quick around that basket.
With the quick action and the leaping abilities to go get himself rebounds in a quick action. And you can see him grimacing. He's really struggling right there. Justin Lewis after coming down hard on his tailbone. Take another look.
Good pass by DJ Carton. Yeah, he hung on the rim and his leg got caught under Doss. Hard fall, but tough kid from Baltimore.
Back-to-back state titles at Polytechnic Institute. Yeah, going back to the waivers for transfers to play, Dickie, I thought it was really a good move for the NCAA to kind of pull the reins back a little bit and let some of these kids go from one opportunity to another where they might have a chance to play and help out another program and not have to sit out a year.
Yeah, the NCAA takes a lot of hits.
Yes, they do.
It's a lot of the decisions that they make or lack of decisions or how long it takes them to make a decision. But I will say, letting guys be able to play right away, I agree with you, Jeff, is great. And giving these players the ability to have another year has been great for these guys.
The ball was really popping on that possession. Carton couldn't finish it off with the 3. It's out of bounds. Marquette's going to get the basketball on the other end of this timeout. Marquette comfortably in front at home. 1 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. That one, you didn't like that one. Ben, is that on the field?
No,
Come on, Dickie, come on.
I looked at you. It didn't go over my head. I looked at you. That was funny. That was good.
I appreciate it. Thanks,
That was good. I can book you for a comedy show, man. That was good. I didn't miss that one.
It was no Joe Starkey, but I mean, I was trying.
When you said it, I looked right over at you, but you were looking down.
Well, I was looking at the game. I was looking to see if there was a tuba player coming down on that fast break.
No, that was a good one.
Nothing better than the big game. Stanford and Cal. It's on Friday. Still can't believe that happened. Almost 40 years ago.
Man.
Iguodaro is going to get whistled for personal. Also Iguodaro, part of this great freshman class. Kedrick Bell at the line. Doss leading the way for Arkansas Pine Bluff. He has more than half their points. He has 17 as Bell knocks down the first.
Kedrick Bell, he's another player. Again, Coach Ivory needs him to come along faster for this team because he can score inside. He has the athleticism.
Averaged nearly 11 points a game last year. Second team all SWAC.
Had a game of 33 points against Mississippi Valley State, as you see. Dawson Garcia take advantage of the size that he has over Bell, just getting down there and kind of manhandling the post. Get in that position. Once he got it, no need to dribble. Had him on his back, going to his strong hand, and gives you the look afterwards.
And think about Garcia, too. He's in his first year on campus. Think about when he gets into the weight room a little bit more, too. What a force he's going to be down low with the way that he's able to shoot the basketball.
I mean, his offensive package, he's giving you the inside, he's giving you the outside, he's giving it to you on the bounce. He's showing his passing ability. And he has solid athleticism. I wouldn't call him a high flyer, but he knows how to position himself defensively to play big.
6'11", 235, with some room to grow.
I mean, actually, he's not even playing as a freshman right now. You would have thought he'd already played a couple of years in college basketball.
No kidding, right? He's a polished freshman. No doubt about that. And he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this conference.
He's communicating, he's talking, he's so engaged. And normally, freshmen are not that engaged.
Fast break, Kobe McEwen. Wanted the foul, didn't get it. Doss on the drive, and he's fouled by Iguodaro, his second personal in this last stretch.
And that's when Dawson is at his best, when he can get into a one-on-one situation, going to his right, downhill, attacking, using his speed and quickness.
And Doss hits the first. He's got 18 points. Played nearly every minute of this game. And he made both free throws.
Good defensive possession by the Golden Lions. They were all over the court, moving quick in the 2-3 zone, and then with the gang rebound. Finishing the possession off with a rebound.
Doss on the drive. And a whistle, Torrance. Well, wasn't on Torrance. They got Dawson Garcia with a personal. Torrance was the one sitting in the paint, making sure he was okay.
And Doss is trying to manufacture some offense for this team, this Arkansas Pine Bluff team. As you see Torrance hit the ground, it seemed like he was more covering his head so nobody would fall on him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Doss now with 20 to lead all scorers. Johnson checks back in for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Halfway through this second half. And Marquette has been firing on all cylinders since the opening tip. A couple of turnovers, a couple of traveling calls against Kobe McEwen first two possessions, but since then, they have been, pardon the pun, golden.
He's here all night. He's here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
This has been a tough stretch for me with my jokes.
He's performing all night, ladies and gentlemen.
Try the veal, it's delicious. Nice finish by Garcia. Oh, man. It's a good thing that there aren't fans sitting behind me. They'd be throwing heads of lettuce and tomatoes at my back.
Well, somebody put a tip in his tip jar, man. Put a tip in his tip jar.
We're trying. Late night, Big East. Embracing it.
Alvin Stretch Jr.
Good move by Stretch, getting right there on the block. And you know, this Arkansas Pine Bluff team, if they can continue to play defense like they're using their quickness and speed, and just keep chipping away at getting good shots and transitions until their shooting comes around, they'll be fine.
And this 14-day road trip is going to serve them well once they get into SWAC play. Open up with Mississippi Valley State on January the 2nd. It's a tough stretch for them. They're going to be in Wisconsin. They got the Badgers coming up in Madison on Friday.
Check again for UAPB 23 to Crown Norris.
Yeah, and Northwestern, St. Louis. It's definitely being on. You already have to be on the road for 14, 15 days, and then be on the road versus some very tough competition. But Coach Ivory is a veteran in his coaching game, Hall of Famer in the SWAC, and I know that he's going to come away with this and have the team ready for the SWAC conference after this road trip.
Matchup against Baylor, too. Nice three ball that time. Knocked down by Nicholas Jones. Tune up against Baylor. Their final one before Christmas was Iguodaro with his first Marquette Golden Eagle points. And all 10 players that have touched the floor for Steve Wojciechowski have scored at least one bucket. Johnson from three. We talked about the balance, Dickie. Getting everybody in that stat column is about as balanced as you can be.
Yeah, and that's going to be big for this Marquette team. The balance scoring, everybody getting to feel the ball, touch it, getting to score. And it's like anything. You get an opportunity to score, that usually makes you play even more intense and focused on the other end, on the defensive end.
Offensive rebound, Iguodaro. Good sequence for Oso.
And you see Oso, another freshman who made this freshman class so high rated that it was, and he's showing you his length around the basket, his versatility, getting involved.
Blocked by DJ Carton. Ninth block of the night, Carton. Almost at the big scoop. Now Doss. Good finish with the right hand by Jones. He's got 5 off the bench. Carton. Checking out his shoe. Did he blow out his shoe? Hopefully nothing more than just a shoe malfunction for DJ Carton. Step aside for just a couple of moments. Oso Iguodaro, one of the 3 big freshmen for Marquette. What a night for the Golden Eagles. .82-45 Golden Eagles up in their lid lifter, and the Big East Freshman of the Year, Dickie Dawson Garcia, has been doing a little bit of everything tonight for Marquette.
He showed his whole skill package offensively. Nice passing ability, spot up, catch and shoot threes, and not being a shot blocker, but having defensive awareness to come over and play high, and then the mid-range abilities. Being able to operate versus that zone, that's the type of player you want to put versus the zone right there at the free throw line, the one who can operate offensively.
We mentioned it in the first half too, but he is playing like a third-year player, not just a freshman who's playing in his first collegiate game.
And he's definitely showing that he has a seasoned game. The poise, the composure, the footwork.
I haven't barely seen him get flustered at all, and Big East play, once you get there, might be a different story for Dawson Garcia, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be bothered one bit by the bright lights.
No, not at all.
Touchdown low to Lewis, but he was fouled. Robert Boyd, the junior, picks up the personal. There is Dawson Garcia.
Marquette shoots
Working up a good lather in his first collegiate game. Can shoot the three if you need to. The mid-range game, which is almost a lost art in today's basketball, that mid-range jumper, Dickie.
Oh, it is. It is a lost art. I mean, analytics will tell you not to shoot the mid-range shot, but if that's a part of your game, you have to allow players to play to their strength and not discourage them.
Six to shoot. Good defensive possession that time by Marquette. Jamal Cain from three. Cain's had a nice night. That one wouldn't go for him. Doss, Euro stepping his way into the paint. A blocking foul on Kobe McEwen.
Well, that was a nice catch by Joshua Johnson, man. Way to catch that ball before it went out of bounds and throw it to his teammate. And then here you go, the Euro step. Everybody's using it. Hey, the mid-range game is the lost art. The Euro step is the overdue art. Oh, my God.
That's the one that needs to go away for you? Does it just need a new name?
I don't know, man. Sometimes I see guys use a Euro step when they didn't even need to use a Euro step. Players are out here working in skill drill. I mean, in that particular play, it was fine, but you talked about lost art. Like, let's not shoot the mid-range anymore, but let's overdo the Euro step.
Was that ever an art?
No,
the Euro step?
I don't think it was. Not at all.
McEwen drives, and he's going to go to the line.
Nice, strong drive to the basket, using his upper body strength, the wide shoulders to absorb the physicality and draw the foul.
Good balanced night for McEwen, 10 points. Make it 11. 3 rebounds, 4 assists to go with the block.
When we asked Coach Wojo about who he was relying on his team for leadership, he said he was relying on it as a collective trio of McEwen, Cain, and Theo John. He said they weren't as the most vocal leaders, but their actions, their work ethic, and how they play definitely sets the tone.
McEwen, especially on this side of the floor, on the defensive end, I think is where he's able to do a lot of that leading. He doesn't need to be the big volume scorer, but as long as he does his job on the defensive end, distributes well, that's leadership.
Absolutely.
The shot clock winding down. Sean Doss with a couple of more points, give him 24. Torrance from 3. Lewis with an offensive rebound, put back, no.
Justin Lewis reminds me a little bit of one of my former teammates in college at Providence College, Eric Williams. Just a guy that was a smaller forward, but just had a knack around the paint, around the basket, around the rim, the elbow areas to score and scrum out the ball and rebounds.
Doss from 3. Will step aside. 3:42 to play in downtown Milwaukee. Marquette trying to hit the century mark in their season opener. Marquette in control here at home, and certainly some guys to watch, Dickie, when it comes to conference play in the Big East this year.
Well, Marcus Zagorowski, preseason player of the year. Romeo Weems, I'm looking to see him take another step after his freshman year on that DePaul team. I mean, you have guys like David Duke, who we talked about earlier, and now that UConn is back in the Big East, be on the watch out for James Bouknight, a scorer. he gets it done. Kind of the prototypical scorer that UConn used to have back in the day with Calhoun, your Ray Allens, your Rip Hamiltons, kind of in that prototype.
Good to have UConn back in the league.
Man, I remember those battles against UConn. Definitely good to see them back in the Big East.
Really good for this league moving forward now with 11 teams within the league. I see the faces too.
And you can't forget about Jeremiah Robinson Earl and that talented Villanova team, well-coached Villanova team. He's the X factor for them.
With no Miles Powell at Seton Hall, Sandro Mamukelashvili.
Sandro gets it done too.
Yes, he does.
But these are all the guys that you definitely have to keep an eye on this season in the Big East. I'm expecting them to have a dominant season, all these players. I'm looking forward to Romeo Weems. I mean, he was a highly touted high school player. Showed some flashes last season. I just see him having a real breakout season in his sophomore campaign.
Charlie Moore and Romeo Weems, those two working in harmony. Paul Reed gone from the DePaul team. Hopefully they can get on the floor here pretty soon, after they had shut their program down for a couple of weeks. The Big East is going to be awfully competitive. You can't really go into a ball game and take it lightly. There have been games like that in the past few years. I think last year was the first one where it was, hey, listen, there are no gimme games in the league, and certainly that's the same way this season.
Yeah, it's been like that the last several years, and that's a good sign for the competitiveness of the Big East. And also, we've always watched the Big East in the last 3 seasons of how they've handled non-conference games. You know, what you're talking about as far as no games, you can't go into any games thinking it's a gimme or it's an easy game, and that translated into the non-conference games when they played against other conferences.
Marquette's schedule coming up, that's no cakewalk either, and for a team that's trying to gel together, it's going to be a nice challenge for Steve Wojciechowski moving forward. A couple of ranked teams in there, of course, the big in-state rivalry with Wisconsin coming up on the 4th of December.
Yeah, Coach Wojciechowski has done a real good job not shying away from tough competition at the beginning of the season. Kind of just throwing his guys in the fire, getting a good balance, but having a tough schedule at the beginning of the season.
The next 4 for Marquette, we got Eastern Illinois, Oklahoma State, Wisconsin at number 7 in the country, and Green Bay. They extended even further than that too. They have to go out to Los Angeles and take on UCLA.
So you have to get on the road. You're playing Oklahoma State with the sensational freshman Cade Cunningham, preseason All-American, traveling to UCLA with that talented team.
Gervonta Doolittle knocks down a couple of free throws. This Marquette team has been awfully impressive tonight. Double-double for Theo John. Greg Elliott is going to go to the line and shoot a couple more. Dawson Garcia, 19 points in his collegiate debut to go with 4 assists and 4 boards. And 9 blocks as a team. That defensive identity that you talked about, Dickie, was there and then some tonight.
Yeah, they established a defensive identity, all started by this man right here, Theo John, with the Marquette mask on. He set the tone with the block shots. We're talking about a team that averaged 4 blocks a game last season, again, which was led by Theo John. But most importantly, everybody was on the same page defensively, moving around, cutting people, cutting drivers off, gang rebounding, doing their jobs.
one of the better rebounding teams in the conference last year. In fact, led the conference in rebounding, nearly 40 rebounds a game. They've got 45 tonight, and don't expect anything to change in that department moving forward. The size that they have and the strength.
Well, Justin Lewis, the freshman, coming up with another rebound on the offensive shot, free throw line shot, just sneaking in there. He just has that knack again. Eric Williams that I played with, that played a long time in the NBA, he reminds me of him, the same kind of size, just knack around the basket, getting rebounds, getting fouled, getting to the free throw line and knocking down. He's showing to be a promising freshman. I'm expecting to see some very good things out of him this season.
Eric Williams better send you a nice card after tonight's game. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I talked to Eric about 3 weeks ago. He's doing well.
That's good.
Doing well.
And a great comparison for Justin Lewis, who has 10 points in his first college game. 5 Golden Eagles in double figures for Marquette with 1:30 to go. Perez from the top of the key. Jose Perez. Six points off the bench. Jamal Cain loving it. And a block just for good measure from Justin Lewis. Give the Golden Eagles an even 10. Jalen Lynn comes away with a loose ball, and he's going to go to the line and shoot a couple just for good measure. Carton picks up his third. No doubt these guys happy to be back on the hardwood. We talked about it earlier, Dickie, about how once the ball went up for that initial jump ball, things would start to feel a little bit normal.
Yeah, the instinct kicks in. It's like getting back on a bicycle. Your focus is right here on the court in the moment. And everything just picked right back up. We expected that the early part of the game it would be some, bad timing, bad shots, turnovers, but it only took a short amount of time to get back into the swing of things.
Steve Wojciechowski is going to be happy with his group tonight. Defensively, offensively, as Greg Elliott tickles the twine for 3. Elliott with 10 points. Make it 6 Golden Eagles in double figures. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Winding this one down, it's Thanksgiving Eastern time.
Yeah, I'm smelling the food already, man. I'm already thinking about that menu.
Yeah, boy, don't forget to send me that picture of your spread tomorrow.
I'll get you that picture, man.
We're doing it. Dickie, always a pleasure as the Marquette Golden Eagles put up 99 tonight in their first game of the season.
Marquette did an excellent job showing what it's going to look like after Marcus Howard defensively. Passing, offense, sharing the ball, and they have a nice, versatile personnel.
Put up 99 tonight, 6 in double figures for Marquette. They were all over Arkansas Pine Bluff. 99-57 is the final score. For Dickie Simpkins, always great to see you. Jeff Levering with you for our outstanding crew here in Milwaukee. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.